What I thought I would talk about today is something that I think we don't talk about enough, and something that is kind of a universal experience to all of us, which is aging.
Yes.
It's a tough transition for us.
It is tough, yeah.
We're made to sort of fear what's coming and sort of mourn for a little bit about what was, whereas now it's more, the lines on my face, I smile and I laugh a lot. And I'm grateful for that. The little furrows in your brow. I'm able to demonstrate care and concern and empathy for the people that I'm sitting with.
Yes.
And it's something I think to be celebrated.
Definitely, definitely. Welcome everyone to another episode of Metatransitions. Today we have with us Robin. She is a fellow colleague and a friend. We're so happy to have you, Robin, on our show.
Thank you, Tricia. I've been so looking forward to this.
Wonderful. All right, Robin, what is it that you'd want to share with our audience today as it pertains to transitions?
Yeah, so this is something I actually put a lot of thought into because I feel... I kind of feel like my whole life has been one big transition. And I thought, do I talk about career? Do I talk about moves? Do I talk about relationships? It feels like there was a lot of content there. Yeah. And what I thought I would talk about today is something that I think we don't talk about enough, and something that is kind of a universal experience to all of us, which is aging.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. And I think that it's something that I've been reflecting on a lot because sort of as I enter kind of the latter years of my 40s, and I think being a woman as well, it's something that socially and societally it's a tough transition for us.
It is tough, yeah.
And I think that it's a little bit different from us than men because, you don't hear, for men, gosh, you look great for your age. But we do get that a lot for women. So
it's more like, all the things are noticing that, is as we're getting older, appearance-wise. But a lot of times it's sort of like a maturity for men, I guess, is what we hear a lot, rather than something more degrading or negative.
I think so. I sort of feel what I've noticed, just sort of, I think, in life and as well in practice, is that men do seem to gain value as they age, and with women it doesn't always necessarily feel that way. And so I think for me, where transition pieces for there was really sort of leaning into that process and sort of being able to embrace that, and in recognizing that while there was some value and there were things certainly that I love and miss about my 20s and even my 30s, that I sort of look ahead to my 50s. It really was about just sort of appreciating sort of where I'm at now and sort of what aging means to me now. And it's a little bit different than what it was sort of back then. It was something to be kind of feared and something to be dreaded. And certainly even when I look around now, Instagram and social media and, we're made to sort of fear what's coming and sort of mourn for a little bit about what was, whereas now it's more, the lines on my face, I smile and I laugh a lot. And I'm grateful for that. The little furrows in your brow. I'm able to demonstrate care and concern and empathy for the people that I'm sitting with.
Yes.
And it's it's something I think to be celebrated.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. So that, perspective of embracing aging and recognizing that, the lines on my face is indicating that I'm a happy person, that I'm a person that has emotions and can share those, and have been expressing them for some time, right? Rather than to look at them as, something negative, or to play into sort of the media portrayal of, this idea of, need to be youthful forever.
Yeah, something to erase, which I don't actually want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great positive, way of looking at aging. And I think definitely, members of our audience could take that encouragement, right? So, now that you've spoken about sort of this transition and that positive experience or way of looking at aging, I guess maybe walk us through maybe what are some of the things that got you to that place?
I think some of the things that have gotten me to that place is, I think first of all, it's not anything we can't reverse it, we can't change it, we can't stop it. It really is. It's an inevitable transition that really actually we're experiencing sort of every single day. And I think it is, when I reflect on sort of where I've been, actually I have a very, very dear friend, Janelle. And I remember Janelle telling me once, when I was in my 20s, she's a few years older than I am, and I was upset about, I don't know, it was a relationship or something that had happened, and I remember her sitting down with me and saying to me, I love you dearly, and, you've never really worked to your potential, and in all reality, what is it that you're bringing to the party?
Yeah.
What are you bringing to the party? And it didn't really fully land with me back then, but over the years and kind of decades, if I dare say it, that have gone by, and now looking ahead to kind of the next big transition for me, sort of decade-wise coming up, is that I've realized now in looking back over all those experiences and the aging experiences that, it's no longer about what it is that I have to bring to the party. I am the party.
Yes.
Yeah, I am the party. And I had to go through all of those transitions, birthday milestones, all of the things that come with aging, marriage, divorce, a child, school, career changes, moves. I had to go through all of these things to actually be the party, and it's a great place to be.
Okay, so first it's sort of that sense of acceptance of, okay, aging is a part of life. This is something we have to live with. This is something you're going to have to live with. And being able to sort of accept that fundamental piece. And then sort of in answering and reflecting on your friend's question, you're recognizing that, all the transitions that you've had to go through in life sort of got you to that place where there's an acceptance of yourself as is, as who you are, and recognizing that what you're bringing to the world is you.
Yes. Yeah. And that really, at the end of the day, we are a sum of our experiences and our life, and there's so many things. Nothing really can replace the rubber on the road, and I wouldn't change that. And so I choose now. I'm grateful for what I've had. I have a huge amount of respect for where I am now, and I look forward. And I think what I offer to people to think about is look forward with curiosity and excitement about what's next.
Yes, definitely. And I think what I'm hearing from you as well, for I guess I'm thinking about my own experiences, and you're so right in the sense that if you think about it, even as counselors, we hear so many stories in the room, every day. And a lot of times being able to empathize or be there with that other person is to be able to pull from your own experiences, not that you're sharing those experiences, but the understanding maybe of what that person might be going through is something that you can genuinely say, you know what, I understand that, because I've lived some of that. Or,
Absolutely.
you've experienced some of that. So being able to empathize, as a counselor is to have lived, all these different experiences and be able to truly be there and present for a client. So maybe that is one way I think I could understand what you're saying there in the sense of
Absolutely.
what you bring to the world now as a counselor, as a mental health professional is the experiences, the lived experiences that you had to accomplish and go through. And to be the person you are today.
Absolutely. And I think a big part of that as well is really appreciating the what is. And, when we get stuck in sort of the what was, gosh, I miss my 20s, or gosh, I miss my 30s, or I miss that time, or remember when. And there's a lot of value in that reflection. It's not saying don't ever go there, but we can't live there.
Yeah.
And to be projecting too far ahead, can sort of drive some of that anxiety or some of that trepidation that maybe we feel about what might be coming next.
Yeah.
But gosh, we sure lose out on all of the great things that are now, and and it really just sort of helps me refocus on kind of the what is. I'll never be again where I am today, right now, and so I try very hard to just sort of to stay in that.
Yes, I think if I were to summarize what you said so far, I've just seen two A's. The sense of acceptance of where you are, and also sort of that sense of being in the present, and being able to fully live here, and appreciate where you are now, and be able to give that back to the world. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Robin. The last question that we have for you, for individuals out there that are having difficulty with, acceptance and, acknowledging where they are and living in the present, what are some tips that you could give to them to help them to be able to appreciate where they are now?
Be kind to yourself. I often find folks who are struggling with what's happening right now are often very, very critical about the what was. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. I'm not where I thought I would be. Or I made so many mistakes. And so I also offer, be kind to that person back there. You made the best decisions that you could with what you had at the time. And would 30-year-old or 40-year-old or 50 or 60-year-old of you now do the same things that you did when you were 19 or 20 or 25? Probably not. Yeah. So be gentle and forgiving of back then. Celebrate it for what it was. And there's so much good right now. You are the sum of your experiences. And one thing that I tell people often is the things back then, they inform us. They inform a lot of who we are, but we're not defined by that. Just like sort of a little bit of that moving forward and projecting ahead a little bit. Whatever is coming down there isn't defined by what's happening right now.
So it's sort of like past, present, future, in a sense where you're looking at the past as a way to sort of inform, who you are now, but not letting it have sort of a sense of power over sort of your identity or, what you can be.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I like that. All right. Well, we've come to the end of our time with you, Robin, but I think we could be here and just talk about this so much more, because you've shared so much, with our audience, that sense of being able to accept, who you are as a person, being able to recognize that aging is, a part of life, and being able to live in the present with who you are, and have an appreciation of, I guess, the lived experiences that we've had over time. And then sort of the last bit there, sort of talking about being kind, to yourself, and recognizing that you did the best you could do at that time, and sort of using that as a way of thinking about, okay, where am I now and where do I want to be, sort of thing. So,
and always remembering you are the party.
Oh, love that.
You are
love
the party.
that. Yeah. You are the party. Okay, we're going to put that in bold at the end. All right. So, I always ask individuals, if someone wanted to make contact with you for services, or, just to be able to talk a bit more about aging, how can they reach you?
I have a website, and there's contact information on there. So www.robinbogue.com is easy peasy.
Wonderful. Yeah. All right, everyone, we will be putting Robin's website at the bottom in the description. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.